This is Dr. Lam from drlam.com. Today we're going to talk about the question of whether fluid balance and salt loading in particular is indicated in the situation of adrenal fatigue. First of all, let's understand that fluid and electrolyte balance is a very complex topic, especially when it presents in the adrenal fatigue setting. The reason is because this is actually a late symptom. And by the time you can sense that there's a significant amount of electrolyte and fluid imbalance, the body is usually quite weak. Now, let us rewind the clock a little bit. Now, when you have adrenal fatigue, the symptoms of craving salt and low blood pressure is quite common. And this reflects an underlying aldosterone imbalance, which is a hormone that regulates salt retention. So in adrenal fatigue, especially in the earlier and the milder cases, and as it progresses, the symptom of salt craving, low blood pressure tend to increase. Well, the question then becomes, should you replenish the salt? Now, in most cases, and I have to say most because it's not in all cases, a salt retention by salt loading, by either taking water with salt or salting your food, it can be beneficial towards the adrenals. But this can only be beneficial if there's no other issues going on, such as cardiac problem, as well as blood pressure issues that is on the other side of the spectrum. In other words, salt can help the adrenals, but salt can also be its enemy if it's not properly titrated. Now, when it comes to fluids, on the other hand, it's a very different issue because it's not only about salt having enough in the body, but it's about the salt being in balance with potassium as well as other electrolytes. We are also dealing with volume issues that can be occupying the vascular wall. In other words, when the body first have a salt craving in adrenal fatigue, most people can benefit from salt loading. However, as the body gets progressively worse, it turns into an electrolyte balance involving other minerals, such as I said earlier, potassium and chloride, etc. And when this happens, then simple salt loading may actually make the matter worse. At the same time, if you simply increase volume without adding the salt, it can also create another set of problems. So by the time, if you are really seriously thinking about salt loading as a way, it may be considered provided that you talk to your healthcare professional who really understand the situation. Salt loading has its place, but it has to be properly done. Potassium, aldosterone are all intricate factors that play into this. On top of that, if you are not careful with salt loading, you can affect the kidneys, you can affect the liver function, as well as cardiac function. So balancing cardiac function, kidney functions, fluid electrolytes, and ultimately the pH of the body are all factors that have to be considered if a person is going to go on a salt loading type program, more than just regular salting the food or just putting a little bit of salt in water. And the reason is because once you talk about the salt loading, we are talking about much more salt that the body may physiologically able to handle. And this type of a program can be very aggressive. And if a body is weak and is fragile, it can swing the other ways. And these are not very pleasant things to have. So in summary, if you are thinking about salt replenishment, this is okay as a trial in adrenal fatigue if your case is mild. If you're thinking about salt loading, do not proceed without the recommendation and the close supervision of your adrenal fatigue literate provider. I hope you've enjoyed this video. For more information on this topic, head over to drlam.com, where I've written over 1,000 articles to help educate people. You can also call me at 626-571-1234 for more information on adrenal fatigue and how to navigate it. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.